everybody, my name is Steph. Welcome to my home. Y'all, if you are somebody that has been subscribed to me for a while, you will know I've been gone for like 3 weeks. And the last video I posted was basically me saying, hi, I'm suicidal and depressed. You might have been concerned and wondering where the fuck I went. And rest assured, I'm here. I have spent the last couple of weeks figuring out what is important to me in life, and I'm doing a lot better. Thank you so much for listening to that video if you did, and for being there and for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. And I promise you now is upward. Everything is up from here. I know it is. I hit rock bottom and it's gone now. It's done. That's the past. It's over. I'm gonna do a full video talking about that and kind of like what I realized I needed to be happy. But until then, let's talk about something a little bit less heavy because it's been a while since I've done something that's just fun. I want to tell you about all my tattoos. And you know, I think I have enough tattoos at this point to be considered somebody that has more tattoos than most people. I've got 11 tattoos and 8 of them I've gotten in the past like month, which might sound like I was using them as hold on, might sound like I was using them as a coping mechanism for wow, ouch, depression and shit, but I don't really feel like that was the case. When I get a tattoo, I very much see it as an expression of who I was in that moment. So there are some people that when they get a tattoo, it's something they've been thinking about for months, if not years, and I totally understand that approach, and my first tattoo was like that, but I very much approach them in almost like an intuitive way. Lately, I've been very drawn to eyes. I've always been very drawn to eyes, so you'll notice when I get into this, I have like a bunch of eyes tattooed on me. I'm gonna explain all those in a minute, but I just wanna preface everything by saying you don't have to have like an emotional life story behind every single tattoo, and if you feel like that's what's preventing you from getting them, but you really want to get them, you just don't feel like you have anything that's worth tattooing, it doesn't have to be that big of a deal. It doesn't have to be that serious. So I really encourage you, if you are a person that's wanted to get a tattoo before, I encourage you to look into it. I encourage you to look for artists that you really love, artists that you think are great people, artists that you can really vibe with. But also, you know, if you don't want to get a tattoo, don't do it. Like, I'm not in the business of pressuring people to get tattoos. I don't think that's productive. I don't think that helps anybody. But I'm very much in the business of, wow, my nose decided a great time to start running. Isn't this beautiful? I'm very much in the business of helping people get to a place where they can do what they want with their life and with their body. And if you want to get tattoos, hey, I'm all for it. Get some tattoos. Before I jump into what exactly I have done, I do also want to point out, look, I have boobs now. I will address that soon. If you're a subscriber of me, you'll know that I didn't have boobs until recently. I had a breast augmentation. I will talk about it. That is coming. It is coming. Don't worry. But this is not that video. So let's look at, wow, thanks alarm. Let's look at what's on my arm, shall we? Because that's where most of my tattoos are. Let's actually go back and my brain just imploded. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's start with my oldest tattoo, which is on the back of my neck, and it is from a video game. This tattoo is the symbol of the Horde, which is a faction from a franchise called Warcraft. A lot of you are probably aware of this franchise because I talk about it a lot. Some of you might even be in my freaking guild. By the way, you can join my guild on Wormrest Accord. On Alliance side, it is Dread C. On Horde side, it is Breadsquad. Take your pick. Take your pick. We're gonna be more active on Alliance side for BFA, just for the record, but you're welcome in either guild. Okay, thank you. Everybody's welcome, as long as you're not a dick. That's my only rule, don't be a fucking dick. Growing up, I played characters on the Horde side of the game, and I really identified with the Horde because they were a group of outcasts that kind of banded together for mutual survival because they had to. And I very much see that in the lens of like marginalized people in, you know, in modern times. And of course, as a kid, I didn't understand the depth of that. I definitely felt disenfranchised, and I felt alone, and I felt isolated, and I felt like I was a freak. And the Horde kind of embodied embracing that. And I really, really, really liked that. So that's where I started, and I've played, like, the same character has been my main, wow, I'm talking about Warcraft now. We're talking about tattoos. Talking about the tattoo only. That's why I got the Horde symbol tattooed on me, is because that was really the most meaningful thing in my life. Because I've played that game now for almost 14 years. I played that game since it was released. So the Horde really is very important to me. And if y'all are in the loop with Warcraft, I'm all about Sourfang. Sylvanas, come on girl, what the fuck? Like, I totally understand the character direction, and I'm about the storytelling. I love the storytelling, but Sourfang, y'all, you embody what I'm about, Sourfang. Let's get that honor back in this shit. Anyway, sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Oh my god. So that's my horde tattoo, and that was my very first one. I got that done at NY Ink by an artist on Instagram called Androgyny or Androgyny. I will put all the links to all the artist Instagrams in the description box. This was not one of their designs. This was something that I requested, and you may notice it's a little bit patchy. That's not the fault of the artist at all. They're a very talented artist. If you look at their Instagram, you can see incredible work that's done in their style. This was just a solid black ink that I brought to them and said I wanted. And the reason it's patchy is because I didn't take care of it the right way, and it's solid black. It's gonna be patchy. Like 9 times out of 10, when you get solid black ink, it's gonna be patchy, and you probably will need it touched up. And I haven't had it touched up, mostly because I really don't give a shit. But I think next time I'm in a place, I'm just gonna tell them to like top it up if they can, you know? Next tattoo that I got, what was my second one? I think my second one was this flower piece on my elbow. These are iris flowers. This was a walk-in appointment. And I think most of my tattoos are walk-ins or impulse appointments. None of them have really been stuff I've booked months in advance. So this one was done by Jennifer Laws, who actually won, I don't know the exact award, I think it was like top tattoo artist in Toronto for like years in the row. Like, she was extremely respected, she was extremely booked. If you're unfamiliar with tattoos and tattoo artists and getting tattoos, there's usually things called flash days or walk-in days where you can get flash, and flash is basically a collection of pieces that the artist has drawn up that they're willing to tattoo for you. And I really love getting flash because it's an expression of that artist, and it's something that I think is beautiful. So it's not so much about me figuring out exactly what I want, it's more about me collecting art on my body. And it's a piece of the artist and it's a piece of me as well. I really, really value that collaborative thing where I'm bringing the body and they're bringing the art, you know, like that's the collaboration. I don't like designing my own tattoos as much. I very much view it as collecting art. I walked in, I got in line at like 8 in the morning because this girl was in high demand, and she's since left Toronto, but if you are in the area where she's now based, I highly recommend her. I recommend everybody who's had tattoos come, for the record, because I do my research, okay. I was the second person to get tattooed by her that day, and it was walk-ins only that day. I think I got mine, I lined up at 8 a.m. I didn't get mine till like 1. And it took just over an hour, and I love it. And I think it's so beautiful, and I love the line work, and I love the shading. I think it's a great, masterful, I just love it. I love it so much. So that was my second tattoo, and the reason I went for iris flowers was because when I was first transitioning, I thought I wanted to be named Iris. I thought that was the name that I wanted to take, and I ended up not, and that's okay. My name is Stephanie. Whoa, weird. That's so similar, isn't it? I still see Iris in a few other ways, and it's like the goddess of rainbows, right? Her name was Iris, and you know, queer. Hi, I'm queer as fuck. The iris of an eye, and you'll notice I have hella eyes on me. That's also a significance to me, but even if there was no significance, it's gorgeous, and that's all I really need to feel like it's okay that I got it, you know what I mean? I think my next one might have been this owl. No. Next one was this cigarette. So I got this on my wrist. This is by an artist called Soft Points. Probably one of my, again, I love all the artists that I've gotten tattooed by, but their style, which is not as present in this cigarette, but is more present in this one that I'm gonna show you in a sec. Their style is so good, and they do such interesting flash, and I love them. So really, again, I'm sounding like a broken record. Check all of these artists out, but like, I love Soft Points. Soft Points also works out of this incredible, super queer location in Toronto, as does another artist that I have a few from, called the Outcast Club, which is inside of a place called TKVO, which is on Dundas Street West. If you're in Toronto, you will know where that is probably. And it's so queer friendly. A lot of the artists there are non-binary or trans, and I really, really love that because I feel so comfortable. So if you are a trans person in Toronto that wants to get a tattoo, the Outcast Club, check it out. TKVO, check it out. It's really, really great place. So I got this cigarette. Again, it was a flash walk-in, and I saw that usually when I get those flash walk-ins, I notice on Instagram the day before it's happening that it's happening tomorrow. Oh, shaking the camera. And I contact my friend Sam, and I'm like, hey, you wanna go get a tattoo? And he's like, yes, I wanna go get a tattoo. And then we go together first thing in the morning and we get our tattoos. So I got this. I'm gonna be real bare with you for a minute, and if you're one of my parents, this might make you feel a bit sad, but don't feel sad because it's just reality. It's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? But I got this because when my parents broke up, when their marriage broke up after 30, like they had never been in a fight before. So it really shook me, and it shook them. And my mom picked up smoking again after 30 years of not. And I picked up smoking because like, I don't know why. It was just, I did it. I can't explain it. I can't. But I got this cigarette when I decided to quit as a reminder of the pain that was inflicted upon my mother, which is why it's covered in barbed wire, right? And it caused her to start smoking. So it's like, it's kind of an expression of that. But I didn't really think of it that way until after I got it. When I first got it, I said, okay, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna stop smoking because it hurts me. Because every time I smoke a cigarette, I lose my voice and I get sick. And that should be enough to get me to quit. But the tattoo is what got me to quit, so. Thank you. Next, I got this owl, I believe. This owl is by Rowan Aurora, who is another artist that works out of the Outcast Club. I love her so much. She is one of the only, if not the only, and this is the reason I say maybe is because it's hard to confirm these things. And I don't want to say she is the only if she's not, because that's gonna come back badly on both of us. And like, so she's one of the only, if not the only, trans woman tattooing in Toronto, if not North America, which seems unlikely. It sounds unusual, but there's a registry of like queer tattooers and she's the only trans woman on there. So if you're watching and you are another trans woman that's tattooing, please let me know in the comments, especially if you're in Canada, just wherever you work. Like, I want to know, because the more trans women we have in any career path, the better. I want to support you, so throw your Instagram handles down there if you're a trans person that is tattooing anywhere in the world. I want to know about you, okay? So I got the owl mostly because it was flash and I wanted it, so I got it. And you know, in hindsight now, I really love owls' faces, and I think the way I do my makeup has always kind of resembled an owl or a cat. Either or, I don't really care, because you can see like the pointedness of the eyes and stuff, and I really, really love that. It just kind of makes me happy. That's why I got this one. If I really wanted to assign a meaning to it, I could be like, oh, it's because I'm a night owl. But like, I don't feel the need to make a point with every single tattoo. I just think it's gorgeous art, and I really love Rowan's work, and I love her style, and I wanted to have it on my body. So that's why I got that. What did I get next? I think the next one I got was this eye in my inner forearm here, in my inner elbow. This one I got while I was in LA with some of my friends. I went there for E3 originally. Then one day we went to the beach. We went to a bunch of beaches. We went to Malibu, we went to like Venice. We went all over the place. And then towards the end of the day, one of my friends called up at this tattoo place and was like, hey, can you take 4 walk-ins right now? And they're like, yes, come in. Which I don't know if that's unusual, but I guess not. Maybe in a place like LA, I don't know. Anyway, I was there and I walked in and I looked at a book of flash from this, like, y'all, he was gorgeous. He was gorgeous. I don't mean to be creepy, but he was gorgeous. His name was Albert. His name was Albert. His link is in the description. Really cool style, really cool face. I picked this out of a book of flash and I got it. And it took me like 2 minutes to decide. And this was really where my eye obsession with tattoos started, because I was dealing a lot with mental health, and I think just these eyes that are crying, which I have a lot of, it just is an expression of like emotion. It doesn't even have to be sad. It's just an expression of emotion and feelings. And I really love that. I don't know how to describe that, but that was my first one in that avenue. I also love that it's kind of like lemony snickety. It's kind of like Illuminati looking. I really love like symmetrical single eyes. I love that. So that was my first eye tattoo and I loved it. And it's like a souvenir from a trip that I will have for the rest of my life. This cannot be destroyed. I love that. I think getting tattoos when you're traveling is such a cool experience and such a cool thing to take with you, because like that really to me is the memory. Like, the only reason I would need to get a tattoo while traveling is that I'm in another place that I've never been before, and I get to remember that every time I look at the tattoo. I think that is so cool to me. So cool. I think my next one was actually behind my ear on my deaf side, and this is the mute sign, just like you would have on a computer. The reason I got this is, if you guys are not aware, I'm actually deaf in that ear, and I've been deaf in that ear from birth. So my idea was, okay, I'll get it tattooed behind my deaf ear so people will know if my hair is up, if they see it, that it might clue into them that I'm deaf in that ear, and they'll avoid talking to it. I don't think it's necessarily everybody else's responsibility to notice that I'm deaf and to position themselves accordingly, because it's not a very obvious thing. But if I can make it a little bit easier for me just to exist in the world, I will. And I think it's also kind of an expression of me owning that and kind of embracing that deafness. And you might notice that I'm doing a lot more subtitles on my YouTube videos, and that's something that I really am thinking is important, is captioning things properly. And I'm taking steps towards that, because I've always been deaf and I've always identified with being deaf. It's something that's always impacted my life, but I haven't actually made my stuff accessible to deaf people. And I think that's kind of like bad. That's rude. That's like it's like I'm claiming it when it's convenient, and I should be claiming it all the time. So Hi, I'm deaf, and that is my expression of that. Thank you. On that note, if you guys have any recommendations for captioning, not necessarily you volunteering to do it, but if you know of like businesses online that will do it, that you think are reputable, or you know, Instagram video captioning software, things like that, I'm really into exploring options for that, because that's something I want to definitely put on a pedestal. You know what I mean? So let me know if you have any ideas. I think next was my mom tattoo on my shoulder blade up here. The Breadmom tattoo. If you guys haven't seen this, I think it's so cute. My mom and I got matching tattoos. So this one, mine is a bread slice that says mom, kind of like you'd get a heart with the banner that says mom, but it's a bread slice because I'm bread mom, okay? Oh, shut up, alarms. And my mom got one that says Nona, and I think it's adorable. So we kind of have these matching tattoos. It's kind of like, while it's an expression of bread mom, it's also an expression of mom, like my mom. I don't know, I think it's cool. It's got a little double meaning. And y'all, when you first saw this tattoo on Instagram, you were kind of like criticizing the lines and stuff. I guess people saw it and they thought that the thin, kind of like rough, sketchy lines were unintentional, but that's part of the style that I love from Rowan, and it's not present in all of her work, but it's present in some of it, and I think it's beautiful. And I chose her to do this because I wanted that kind of look for this. So please stop insulting. Here's something I should have said right at the beginning. Don't insult anybody's tattoos. Unless it's like a racist fucking tattoo, don't criticize them, because you know, what you view as ugly, somebody else might view as really beautiful, and there's nothing productive in telling somebody you don't like their tattoo. It's not easy to get rid of a tattoo, and it's none of your business. It's not your body. I know I'm probably gonna get some comments on this video like, I don't like that tattoo, or I don't like this tattoo, and I can deal with that because I've had comments like that my entire life, okay? Just, it's best practice not to be like, I don't like that tattoo, because like, why? Like, what do you expect to happen? Do you expect them to go get it removed with painful surgery? Like, I don't know. That being said, I do think it's important, if you see something that's racist on somebody's body, like a fucking swastika, maybe call them out for that, because that's a different story entirely. But if it's a style thing, like, just mind your business, you know? What did I get next? I think next I got this blade on my forearm. This is another soft points piece. Here's the thing with tattoos, is like, every time you get a new tattoo, especially big ones, you're like, this is my new favorite tattoo. And then the next time you get another big tattoo, you're like, this is my new favorite tattoo. And it just kind of keeps going and it never stops. But this is my new favorite tattoo. This was another flash piece that they did, and I saw it on their Instagram, and I was like, there's an eyeball in that, and I've wanted a knife of some kind tattooed on me for a long time. So I'm like, hi, can I please get that? And they were like, yes, you may. And then I walked in like a week later and I got it, so that was nice. I love the dot work inside of the, like, the eye area. I love this dot work. Like, the dot work everywhere is so good, and the lines are so crisp, and I really love soft point style. My long-term goal with this arm, probably part of my shoulder as well, depending on where I get more tattoos, is once I fill it with designs that I like little things like this, once I fill up all the space that I can fill up with stuff, I want to go back and have them draw these little leaves in between everything, so it kind of connects and it fills it up. I really, really love that idea. I haven't passed it by them yet, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask them. But if they say no, then I'll just like, I'll find a different way. But I don't see why they would say no, I don't know. Anyway, so that was the next one I got, and I kind of love, I guess for me the knife was supposed to kind of represent like, I can handle myself, or I'm scrappy, not even in a physical fighting way, but in like, I'm tough, you know? And I think people might hear that and be like, whatever, like, okay. But like, I am, like, I've dealt with some shit, okay? And I feel like the knife is kind of a representation of that. But again, it's also just fucking gorgeous, and that's all the reason I need, okay? I'm so sorry I keep looking at the viewfinder. I've been doing this for like over a decade. What is wrong with me? I should know by now not to look at the viewfinder. I'm so sorry. The next thing I got was this eye up here. This is by an artist called Molly, and they do this really cool kind of comic book style of lines and heavy black ink, and I really, really like everything about her style. And this is another flash piece I saw on her Instagram, and I was like, hey, I really want that. But she was fully booked, and she's usually fully booked. She's a very, very booked tattoo artist. She works out of the Village Ink in Toronto, and I love her work so much. So what I do, because I'm not really the kind of person that likes to wait months for a tattoo. So what I do is I follow all these artists, and if there's an artist that I really, really want to tattoo from sometime soon, I will put notifications on for their story posts and their Instagram posts. And I'll wait for them to say, oh, I have a cancellation tomorrow at like 1 p.m. or whatever. And I will immediately, like, book that spot. And that has been the most efficient way for me to get tattoos. But it's also been expensive, because I've gotten so fucking many in such a short time period. So it's gonna be like at least a few weeks It should be like a few months really before I get another one, but it's gonna be at least a few weeks because like I love tattoos. I love this. Again, the crying. At first I thought it was like an eye in a storm cloud, but now I realize it's an eye with a puddle, and I still love it. Like I think it's really cool, and it's just another expression of that like emotion, that feeling, and I really want to feel those feelings, so this is like me feeling it by putting it right on my fucking body, you know what I mean? The next one I got was this little alien here. Now this is by my friend Jenna. She is just starting out as a tattoo artist. I really like her style though. She's gone for this kind of Bratz inspired big eyes kind of proportion style, and I really, really like it. She did this in stick and poke, which was my first stick and poke tattoo, and I'm gonna be very honest with you and tell you that I was not sober, but I also wasn't drunk, okay? So I did not feel this very much. The reason I clarify I wasn't drunk is because you should never drink before getting a tattoo. Alcohol thins out your blood. You will bleed everywhere. Don't drink before a tattoo. Don't drink the night before a tattoo. Give yourself 24 hours of not drinking before a tattoo, okay? That's pretty much universally accepted as like truth. Anyway, I didn't really feel it much, but I've been told by many people that stick and poke hurts more than like a tattoo machine. This was actually like her 10th piece, so it's like she's not incredibly experienced yet, but she's doing a great job. Like for her 10th piece, I really like it. She did have a bunch of different, I said I wanted an alien, and I was expecting like an alien emoji, like something really small and really simple, but she like delivered some really cool alien designs, and I immediately, when I saw this, she had 3 eyes, this alien, and I was like, okay, that's the one I want. That's the one I want. She has the most eyes on her face. That's what I want on my body. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my god, my nose is itchy. So I love this one. Thank you so much, Jenna. You're doing a great job, and I highly recommend y'all check her out. She is a really, really talented person inside and out. I love her. Inside and out. How can you be talented? Whatever. She's talented, okay? Is that all my tattoos? Holy shit, that was all my tattoos. That took me like half an hour though, for the record. I have 2 more tattoos booked already. One of them is a hand tattoo. So it's gonna be a little heart on my hand that's kind of broken, and inside of the heart there's an eye, and I'm pretty sure it's crying. Who'da thunk? So that's gonna bring like the sleeve right up to here. And then the other one I have booked is a moth. Bitch. The moth is gonna go on my thigh. The moth has like a skull for its body, and then there's an eyeball above the skull. I don't know how to describe it, but it's gonna be incredible, and that one's gonna be a soft points piece as well. And the heart on my hand is gonna be an AJ Richardson tattoo, I think. But I'm not gonna include his name yet because I haven't been there yet, and I don't have the work on me, so you'll see. After that, my next goal is gonna be getting something to go up onto here. I really want like a dedicated collarbone, like into the boob tattoo, something that's really suited just for that spot. And then I really also want something underneath of my boobs. What is that called? An underbust, underbreast, whatever. I want something under here, like the Rihanna eagle, but not the same thing as her, because that's like, I don't copy tattoos, you know? So I'm looking forward to those. If y'all have any questions about tattoos, please ask them away in the comments, and I'll see if I can get back to you. But I'm not an artist, I'm not a tattoo artist, I'm not an expert, but I will tell you what I do know. And if there are any tattoo artists out here, throw your handle in the description, share your work with everybody, because I love tattoo artists. I think they're one of the coolest ways to express your art, and I really, really respect you guys. So throw your handles out in the comments, and I will check some of you out. I would love to discover some new Toronto artists, or even other artists in other cities that I can travel to, because I want to do that. Anyway, I will see you all later. Thank you so much for joining me. I am, by the way, way more active on Instagram lately, so if you want to follow me there, it's Stef.Sanjati, and I do lots of live streaming there now. I do lots of stuff, and my new theme is gorgeous. You should look at it. Anyway, I will see you later. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and until next time, just remember, I love you. You have agency over your body. You do whatever the fuck you want to. You want to get a tattoo? You get a tattoo. I love you so much. Bye. Just if you are getting a tattoo, research the artist. Go somewhere safe. Don't get poisoned. I love you. Peace.